I'll give it to you straight, Mr. Vice President. You stay out of the North Side. You come over there like George Washington. I send you back like Abe Lincoln. With a voice that defined an era, blue-eyed Frank Sinatra wasn't just a singer. He was power, charm, and mystery rolled into one legend. So, when he died in 1998, the world expected Hollywood's elite to show up and pay tribute. But as the cameras searched the crowd, something felt wrong. Some of Sinatra's closest celebrity allies were gone. No statements, no flowers, no goodbye, as if they had erased him completely. So, what really happened? And why did these stars choose silence over respect? Stay with us because the truth is far more shocking than you think. Number 1. Marlon Brando. The Mumbles' war that never ended. If there was one absence that shocked Hollywood the most, it was Marlon Brando. Their feud wasn't only personal, but humiliating that had lasted more than 40 years. The war began in 1955 on the set of Guys and Dolls when Sinatra had aggressively campaigned for the role of Sky Masterson, believing it was tailor-made for him. Instead, the studio handed the role to Brando, an actor with no musical background and a reputation for quiet inward method acting. Sinatra felt not just passed over, but publicly diminished. From day one, he lashed out. Sinatra mocked Brando's diction, his introspection, and his refusal to perform off-camera, branding him Mumbles with an earshot of cast and crew. Brando didn't fight back loudly. He fought psychologically. The infamous cheesecake scene became a power play. Knowing Sinatra loathed cheesecake, Brando deliberately ruined take after take, forcing Sinatra to eat slice after slice under studio pressure. By the end of the day, Sinatra was physically ill and filming was halted. Crew members later recalled Brando watching silently, satisfied. The tension never eased. They refused to speak directly, communicating only through intermediaries. Years later, Brando confided to friends that he believed Sinatra's resentment had turned dangerous. After a late-night incident in Los Angeles in which Brando claimed he was briefly abducted and threatened, he privately suspected Sinatra was behind the intimidation. Brando later summarized the relationship with chilling clarity. Frank never let go of a grudge. That wasn't bitterness. It was resignation. They never reconciled. They never exchanged apologies. When Sinatra died in 1998, Brando didn't issue a statement, send flowers, or attend the burial. His absence wasn't symbolic. It was literal proof that some wars don't end. Number 2. Woody Allen. The one scandal Sinatra took personally. Woody Allen wasn't Rat Pack. He wasn't a lounge-era insider. But his name circles Sinatra's funeral story for a darker reason. Mia Farrow. His connection came through Mia Farrow, Sinatra's former wife, and by many accounts, the one person he never stopped protecting. Their marriage in the early 1960s was brief but emotionally significant. Sinatra remained deeply attached to Farrow long after their divorce, maintaining contact and offering support through her relationships and career. So when Farrow discovered in 1992 that Allen had been secretly involved with her adopted daughter Suni Pravan, Sinatra's reaction went beyond outrage. Friends described him as unhinged with fury. This wasn't gossip to him. It was betrayal inside his extended family. Biographers and associates have consistently reported that Sinatra explored retaliation using underworld connections he had cultivated since the 1940s. One longtime confidant later claimed Sinatra wanted Allen scared straight or worse. The proposal was allegedly rejected by organized crime figures who viewed harming a high-profile director as too risky. Sinatra reportedly said, "You don't hurt the people I love and walk away clean." That sentence mattered because Sinatra had the reputation, deserved or not, of meaning it. Allen knew it, too. Whether Sinatra intended real violence or symbolic intimidation, the threat felt credible. Any remaining goodwill vanished instantly. There were no attempts at reconciliation, no intermediaries, no softening over time. By the late 1990s, Allen was already engulfed in public scandal and legal scrutiny. Appearing at Sinatra's funeral would have been interpreted as provocation, hypocrisy, or arrogance. More importantly, it could reopen a conflict Allen had every reason to keep buried. When Sinatra died, Allen stayed far away, not out of disrespect, but self-preservation. So, This one ended in silence because silence was safer. Number 3. Nancy Reagan. When politics destroyed a friendship. Ranked third among those whose relationship with Frank Sinatra collapsed beyond repair, Nancy Reagan's absence carried the sharpest sting of betrayal rather than open hatred. For years, Frank Sinatra believed he wasn't just a supporter of Ronald Reagan. He believed he was a builder of the Reagan dynasty. Beginning in the mid-1960s, Sinatra poured money, celebrity access, and personal credibility into Reagan's political rise. He hosted lavish fundraising galas at his Palm Springs estate, made personal phone calls to donors, and publicly vouched for Reagan at a time when Hollywood liberals viewed him with suspicion. Sinatra didn't hedge his bets. He went all in. Nancy Reagan welcomed that loyalty at first. Insiders recalled long phone calls and a familiarity that went beyond formal politics. Sinatra wasn't treated like a donor. He was treated like family. That intimacy made what came next far more devastating. When Reagan entered the White House in 1981, the relationship changed almost overnight. Sinatra expected continued access and respect. Instead, he was quietly frozen out. Invitations stopped. Calls went unanswered. The official explanation was concern over Sinatra's rumored mob associations and his unpredictable temperament. Liabilities the new administration didn't want near the Oval Office. Sinatra felt publicly erased. Privately, he was furious. He told close friends, "They used me, then erased me." This wasn't political disappointment. It was personal betrayal. Sinatra had staked his reputation on Reagan only to be treated as an embarrassment once power was secured. Nancy Reagan never publicly criticized Sinatra, but she also never attempted reconciliation. That silence mattered. When Sinatra died in May 1998, her refusal to attend the funeral, citing scheduling conflicts, struck many as implausible. Former aides quietly admitted the relationship had never been repaired. Number 4. Barbra Streisand. Admiration without forgiveness. In terms of personal tension and unresolved discomfort, Barbra Streisand ranks fourth on the list, not because she hated Frank Sinatra, but because she refused to excuse him. Streisand deeply respected Sinatra's artistry. She grew up studying his phrasing, his timing, and his emotional control as a singer. That respect led to their collaboration on duets in 1993, including the beloved track I've Got a Crush on You. Musically, the pairing was flawless. Personally, it was distant. Unlike many performers of Sinatra's generation, Streisand was openly wary of his offstage behavior. She was uncomfortable with his explosive temper, his history of emotional manipulation, and the persistent rumors surrounding his associations with organized crime. At one industry dinner, Streisand reportedly told a friend could be incredibly kind, but kindness with conditions isn't kindness. That distinction mattered to her. It explained why she kept Sinatra at arm's length, even while praising his legacy. Their interactions remained strictly professional. They never socialized privately, never developed the casual warmth Sinatra shared with others. Streisand admired the voice, not the man. When Sinatra died, Streisand chose not to attend the funeral. Instead, she released a brief statement honoring his musical impact and left it at that. For her, public mourning felt dishonest. She believed respect did not require proximity and forgiveness did not require attendance. Number 5. Dean Martin. The friendship that burned out. The final position belonged to Dean Martin's decision not to appear at Frank Sinatra's funeral. Wounded fans more than any open feud ever could. For the public, Sinatra and Martin were inseparable. The smiling backbone of the Rat Pack and applause under neon lights. Privately, the friendship was far more fragile. For years, Martin tolerated it out of loyalty, but Sinatra's temper repeatedly dragged him into situations that threatened his reputation and peace. The breaking point came in the early hours of June 8, 1966 at the Beverly Hills Hotel's Polo Lounge. What began as a birthday celebration turned violent after a confrontation with businessman Frederick Weissman. Slurs were exchanged. A fight erupted. Weissman suffered a fractured skull and was rushed to intensive care. Police questioned everyone present. Martin publicly claimed he saw nothing, but privately admitted to his daughter that Sinatra had lost control. He never accused him outright, but he never defended him either. That silence marked a shift. From that night forward, Martin began to withdraw. He stopped attending late-night gatherings. He declined joint appearances. He avoided situations where